is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Ohio.
The Indians begin their interleague schedule against one of baseball's best franchises, the St. Louis Cardinals. From Stan the Man to a home run by the Wizard, the Cards have won 11 World Series titles. The Indians, meanwhile, will try to ride the momentum from Sunday's win into this three-game clash next on Sports Time Ohio. A cold front has moved into downtown Cleveland, and the St. Louis Cardinals have invaded Progressive Field. It's interleague play here at the ballpark, and we've got it for you right here on Sports Time Ohio. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. St. Louis brings the best record in all of Major League Baseball into this series. The Indians are simply looking for back-to-back wins for just the second time this year, and they're also looking for a series opening win for only the second time this year. And hopefully Jason Kipnis, they can continue to ride his hot bat because he's swinging it very well. You look back to since he went into that leadoff spot, he's swinging it very well.
Well, he's hitting over 350, and he looks like a different player out there. He's using all fields. The ball is jumping off his bat. Even when he makes outs, he's hitting the ball hard. So he's back. It reminds me of about 2 years ago in the month of June he had when he was Player of the Month. He's having that kind of a month here in May. And Matt Carpenter, another infielder that the Cardinals have, he missed his last 3 games because of exhaustion, 4 games overall, but this guy can hit 14 doubles, 20 extra base hits. He can 300 hitter with 2 strikes. He's a really good player as well, and he's back tonight in the lineup.
And Jason Kipnis is coming off a series against Minnesota in which he went 7 for 14 against Twins pitching. Speaking of pitching, that's always a key, and with the Indians tonight, it will be Carlos Carrasco who will take the ball and try to slow down this hot-hitting Cardinals club.
Well, for Carlos Carrasco, his first 3 starts were great, and his last 3 have been a little shaky. But he's had trouble in the first innings. This will be the first time he's matched up against the St. Louis Cardinals, but they need Carlos to step up, throw that good fastball, the change up, the slider, and see if they can get the lead and put zeros on the board. He will be matched up against another right-hander, Lance Lynn, who's 1-3, and he in his last 3 starts, his ERA is up over 6. Career in the AL against the AL is 3-5.
Interleague play always interesting, and with St. Louis coming to town, they don't visit often. Only 10 Cardinals on this roster have actually played a game here at Progressive Field, including one Johnny Peralta, who has 55 career home runs here in this ballpark. When we come back, Andre Knott will join us to tell us why the Cardinals are still the class of the National League. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by W.B. Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. By your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud sponsors of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. just about ready for baseball, interleague style here at Progressive Field. Indians and the St. Louis Cardinals about to renew their interleague rivalry, in which the Indians have prevailed in every single series that these two teams have met head-to-head. But when you talk about the St. Louis Cardinals, they are a team that year in and year out, consistently, they are just very good. Consider this. Since the dawn of the 1920s, there have only been 3 decades in which they did not win a World Series.
Wow.
They didn't win one in the 50s, 0 for the 70s, 0 for the 90s. Other than that, they've had at least one World Championship since the 1920s in every decade.
Yeah, very impressive. They're always around.
Let's go down to Andre Knott. Andre, what enables the Cardinals to maintain this incredible level of consistency?
Well, Matt, I've made this the question of the day. I went around the ballpark and talked to people from the Cardinals, from the Indians. I even asked Rick to see what he would say to get something out of him. And really the thing that comes down to, guys, is decision-making. Whether it's the draft, whether it's free agency, and even their manager. Back in 2012, Tony La Russa stepped down as a manager of the Cardinals. There was an opening, one of the best jobs in Major League Baseball. And a guy named Terry Francona went out for the job, and Mike Matheny and here were 2 of the last guys that come down for that job. The Cardinals chose Mike Matheny, who had never managed before in his entire career. He had played for the Cardinals, though, and they chose Matheny over Terry Francona. And you know what Terry Francona told me today? That was the best decision that they could have made by taking Matheny over him. And he said that because Matheny gets their organization, knows how they work, and he goes, heck, when you look at what's happened since 2012, who is he to question it? So Terry Francona agrees they know how to cultivate from within, and they continue doing it year after year after year.
Hey, Andre, you know what team was my favorite growing up as a kid?
Which team is that?
St. Louis Cardinals, my friend, and Stan Musial.
Of course you would like a winner.
You got that right, brother.
Well, the Indians take the field behind Carlos Carrasco and Mike Matheny in his 4th season as the Cardinals manager. He's taken his team to the postseason in each of his first 3 seasons at the helm.
Yeah, very impressive.
All right, let's take a look at Matheny's starting lineup tonight for the Cardinals. It's brought to you by Toyota. Colton Wong in the leadoff spot. Matt Carpenter back in the starting lineup. He is a key guy, hitting .333 so far on the year. Tied for the Major League lead in doubles with 14. Matt Holliday bats third. Johnny Peralta cleanup. Then Matt Adams, Yadier Molina, Jason Hayward, Mark Reynolds, and Peter Borges.
Well, tonight's Northern Ohio Honda starting pitchers, Carlos Carrasco. He's 4-2 and a .471. Carlos making his 7th start, his very first start ever against the St. Louis Cardinals. And in interleague play, Carrasco has done a decent job. He's coming off a good start against Kansas City, where he went 7 innings and gave up 5 hits and 3 runs. He left leading that ball game 9-3. The offense treated him kindly, so he was the first Indians pitcher to get to 4 wins, and he's going to come out here and try and put zeros on the board. He has had trouble in the first inning. His ERA has been 10.80, and the opposition has hit .455 off him, so we'll see if he can control that tonight. Let's check out the defense brought to you by Chrysler. In the outfields, David Murphy gets a start in left. Michael Brantley moves over to center. Moss is in right field. Chisenhall at third. Ramirez is at short. Kipnis at second. Santana at first. And Perez doing the catching.
Crew Chief Tim Welke will call the balls and strikes to start the series. Mike Everett at first. Tim Timmons at second. Todd Titchener down at third. There is Mike Matheny. Just the 15th manager in Major League Baseball history to pick up 275 or more wins in his first 3 years. Colton Wong takes the first pitch strike from Carlos Carrasco.
Colton Wong been swinging it very well. 8-game hitting streak.
Wong out of a very open stance. But he closes it upon delivery of the baseball, and it's outside 1-1.
You're right. He gets a good view when you're open like that. But when you watch his front leg, it picks it right back up, and it goes directly to the pitcher. It doesn't come out to the first base. That helps him close it up. That's that leg kick, which is a timing mechanism for him.
Yeah, I don't know that I've seen a guy before, Rick, with the open stance and then use that in a leg kick.
Yeah. A lot of times they'll have no stride, really. Just, the hands will do a lot of it.
The 1-2. Fastball outside to even the count. Wong hit his 4th home run of the year on Sunday. But the Cardinals were tripped up by the Pirates, their first series loss of the year. How about that?
Yeah, they lost 2 out of 3. That's right.
Swung out and missed. Carrasco strikes him out to start the game. Here are the keys to the game, brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Carrasco going to have to deal with the Cardinal left-handers, and they've got 4 very good ones in the lineup tonight. And for the Indians, the clutch hitting with runners in scoring position will certainly be important. It always is, but against this Cardinal bunch, it will become even more critical. Here's Matt Carpenter. Out of the lineup the last several days, 4 games in all with extreme fatigue, dehydration. Not something you associate with early season baseball.
Right.
You think of that maybe in August when you're dragging a little bit, but boy, this guy's off to a fantastic start.
Well, as much as he's been running the bases in the first 16 games before he missed his 4, maybe that's why. Because he has been making a lot of left-hand turns, 20 extra base hits on the year.
He had 7 straight multi-hit games.
He's a great 2-strike hitter, too.
Cardinals might lead the league in guys named Matt.
I see that.
Matt Carpenter, Matt Holliday, Matt Adams. I think Matt Belisle in the pitching staff. Carrasco's 1-2. Good eye. He lays off a fastball that was letter high. Talked about the 7 straight he had. He also has 16 overall. Now Carrasco with a 2-2. Just off the outside corner. And a full count.
Take a look at this pitch on our Nissan pitch tracker and see what you think. It's that ball that's running away. It's definitely outside. Perez trying to frame it and hold it there, but that was a pretty good ways off the plate.
Pretty good eye, though, to be able to lay off that with 2 strikes.
Yes, it is. That's knowing the strike zone.
Smashes it to third. Lonnie Chisenhall. Routine play, 2 down. Our window systems, game time temperature is 57 degrees, overcast skies. Pretty good wind rifling from the left field foul pole to the right field corner. 20 miles an hour. Might gust at times a little higher than that. What a departure from Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, the weekend, when it's 85 over the weekend and you're just in the mid part of May, that's a little high. It's not too bad.
Here's Matt Holliday. And he looks at a ball outside. Holliday coming off in 0 for 4 against the Pirates. He reached base safely in his first 29 games played this year. That's tied for 3rd best in St. Louis history. Hit well deep down the right field line, but slicing foul and out of play. Two balls and a strike.
Well, he has 23 walks, so that certainly helps. If they pitch around him, that's the 3rd best in the National League.
Swung on and missed. It's 2-2. Back in 2007, Holliday had a tremendous year with the Rockies. He led the league in batting average, hit .340. Drove in 137 runs to lead the senior circuit. Also hit 36 homers. Now, he's never come close to equaling those numbers since, but he's been solid and steady for St. Louis.
Yes, 100 RBIs every year, 20 homers.
Swing and a miss. Carrasco strikes him out as the Cardinals go 1-2-3. The Indians are coming to bat. Let's take a look at Terry Francona's starting lineup for the Tribe tonight, brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Jason Kipnis in the top spot, followed by Carlos Santana. Michael Brantley with a 10-game hit streak hits third. Then it's Brandon Moss, Nick Swisher, David Murphy, Lonnie Chisenhall, Roberto Perez, and Jose Ramirez.
Tonight's Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher for the Cardinals, Lance Lynn. He is 1-3 with a .382. He's making his 7th start this year, his first ever start against the Cleveland Indians. And he's a lot like Carrasco. His first 3 starts, he was lights out with a 1.56 ERA. And his last 3, he has an ERA of up there at 6. But he's been a victim of no run support. 2 starts, they didn't score any runs for him. 1 start, they scored 1. So he's hoping that some of their guys can get him a lead.
Jason Kipnis takes a breaking ball for strike 1. Kipnis, .294 average on the year. You see it there.
Lance Lynn, he is the fastball, curveball, slider, and a changeup.
Missed inside.
What a difference, huh? Kipnis, April and May, and I guess you can look at it the same way for the Indians. They're averaging over 6 runs a game in the month of May.
Right at the second baseman, Wong. And Kipnis is out number 1.
Let's check out the Cards defense, brought to you by Chrysler. In the outfield, it's going to be Holiday in left. Borges is in center. Hayward over in right. Carpenter at third. Peralta at short. Wong is at second. Adams at first. Molina doing the catching.
Now Carlos Santana steps in. Twins really tied him up in knots. He was just 3 for 13 against Minnesota pitching. Though he was able to drive in 4 runs in a 3-game series. Bouncing ball off the glove of a diving Matt Adams. And into right field it goes. Santana's aboard with a 1-out single.
Well, different team, different luck. Santana, off the end of the glove, it looked like Wong would have got there and been able to make the play because he was playing in the hole. But once it was deflected, that goes for a base hit. So there you go. A little luck, and maybe that will help Santana.
Matt Adams telling Santana, I missed it by that much.
Yeah, well, he's saying thank you very much.
Michael Brantley riding a 10-game hitting streak. Overall, Brantley hitting .340. 15 for 39 during the 10-game tear. And he's got a base hit into right field. Santana will stop at second base. Jason Hayward, good arm in right field and got to it quickly.
He's got a cannon, so you're not going to go first to third right there. But a nice job of finding that hole by Michael Brantley. It looked like he went out and reached for that ball and hooked it in there. So back-to-back singles have the Indians in business here in the first inning. See, that was a pretty good pitch. It may have had a little too much of the plate. It was down, but Michael able to turn it into the hole.
All right, 2 on, 1 out. Brandon Moss, the batter. Indians batting .261 as a team with a runner in scoring position. And that number has been pumped up because over the last 12 games, they're batting over .300 as a club.
Yeah, in the month of May, .329 with runners in scoring position, which you got to love. That's 100 points better than it was in the month of April. They couldn't buy a hit.
Yeah. Now Brandon Moss trying to put the Indians on the board early. Checks on a ball high. He did not go, says Todd Tishner down at third base on the appeal. Not really a shift for Moss, though the shortstop, Peralta, shading him up the middle. And hammered foul. Look out down in the corner bar.
Yeah, someone's going to get a souvenir. Maybe in their beer.
If he'd hooked that a little bit more, he might have taken out Aller Jensen.
No. Good point, Matt. They're doing something else.
Mel.
Mel.
Here's a 1-2 to Moss. Up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nick Swisher waiting on deck as the Tribe looks to jump on the Cardinals early, right out of the gate here. 2 on, 1 out, 2-2 to Moss. And full count.
Yeah, well, when you go in there, you don't want to miss on the plate. You got to get him back off the plate, but he was able to take it. Full count now.
Now the payoff. And Moss strikes out, 1 away. Or 2 down, excuse me, as he went to the high fastball.
He came with the fastball, though, and they wanted it in. That ball runs away. Had some movement. You see where Molina was sitting was down and in. That ball had some run to it, up and away, and Moss swings through it, so it'll be out number 2.
That'll leave it up to Nick Swisher here in the first. And that's up and away, ball 1. Swisher 4 for 16 from this side of the plate. Cuts and misses there. 1-1. Well, with a high fastball that was out of the strike zone for ball 1, then came off-speed pitch to even the count. Santana at second, Brantley at first. And that low fastball puts Swisher behind in the count, 1-2. Well, Lance Lynn, one strike away from getting himself out of trouble after back-to-back singles here in the first inning. Off the dish. Tempting pitch. But Swisher, he's always had a tremendous eye at the plate. You know, one thing historically, when you look at Nick's stats, he always draws a lot of walks. Now the 2-2. High and a full count. So Santana and Brantley will be moving on the pitch. And Swisher strikes out to end the first frame. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left. We've played an inning in Cleveland, no score. Second inning, no score. Johnny Peralta will lead it off for the Cardinals. 32 years old, back in Cleveland for the first time as a Cardinal. And a ground ball back to the mound. Karams wildly off Carrasco, and that'll be an infield single for Peralta.
It looked like it caught him on the bottom of the spike, and it kicked away from him. If it, hits him on a piece of the leg or something, it doesn't roll away that far, but I think it caught him on the bottom of the shoe. Let's check it out. He was going to block it. It wasn't hit all that hard. A little one-hopper right on the back of the heel. And that thing, look how far it deflects.
Yeah.
So that'll go as an infield single for Peralta. And he has had a lot of luck against Carlos Carrasco. Now 7 for 9.
Matt Adams aggressively swinging at the first pitch like Peralta, but he fouls it back. Matt Adams goes 6'3", 260 pounds. Hit that off of his leg. And Rick, Adams is another guy, is an example of what we talked about before, the Cardinals, what makes them the organization they are. Now, whether it's just plum luck or genius scouting, he was a 23rd round pick.
Okay.
699th player overall.
That's about luck. That's pretty lucky. If you go in the 23rd round and you can come up here and be a everyday first baseman with some pop.
Now the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Carrasco with a good fastball away. Is his third strikeout of the game so far. One down in the second.
It's going to be our Circle K strikeout, and it's a fastball. And Carrasco already has 6 swings and misses. 3 strikeouts out of the first 4 outs. So he's got his A-game stuff tonight.
Yadier Molina. The runt of the litter. But maybe the best.
Yeah, I'll take the runt.
Not maybe. Clearly the best of the Molina brothers. He's won so many gold gloves, they started giving him platinum gloves. I didn't even know there was such an award.
That's the best at your position, isn't it?
2011, 2012, 2014. Yeah, they just started it in 2011. He's won 3 out of 4.
Of course. Oh, that got a piece of the bat. It looked like it got a piece of his hand as well, but being a part of the bat. Look at Matheny up there looking, saying, what happened?
He might be more concerned just to make sure he's all right.
You know, he started shaking that hand. Now, I don't know if
Man, Rick, I never saw it hit his hand. It looked like it hit the bat. Maybe just the way he was holding it. Might have jammed his thumb back or something.
I don't know. That was weird. I didn't get a look at this serve.
Punches it to right field, a base hit. Peralta around second. He'll hold there.
That was like a tennis serve. He just flipped it out there. You know, his hand is bothering him, you can tell. And look at that, pitch is away. And that's about the only thing he could do with it. He got his bat to the baseball and just flicks it out to right field. So they get their second hit in the inning.
Two on, one out for Jason Hayward. Inside ball 1. Hayward, 25 years old. Two balls, no strikes. It's a big offseason trade.
Yes.
Shelby Miller went to Atlanta. But this guy is a difference maker in the lineup.
You know, you don't know if that they were not going to be able to sign him or what, why they ended up trading him. They got a good young pitcher in Shelby Miller.
Off the plate, Kipnis.
Just get one.
Will go to first. They get the second out of the inning. Peralta to third, and Molina goes to second. Our stat of the game is brought to you by Buick, and the Indians have never lost a series to the Cardinals. Every time they have played, the Indians have won the series, 14-6 overall. In fact, you told me before the game the Indians are the only team in baseball that the Cardinals have not won at least a series against.
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. The Indians, believe it or not, and the Indians could use one. If they can win today, they'd be, for the second time, just 2 wins in a row. And only their second series win if they could get one.
Well, the Indians' interleague history with St. Louis goes all the way back to the very first year of interleague play. When they met back in 1997, and the Indians took 2 out of 3. Mark Reynolds. Checks on a pitch low and away. Two years ago, Reynolds was with the Indians and then traded to the Yankees. Last year he spent in Milwaukee. Fouled right back, almost broke a window. Last year with the Brewers, Reynolds hit 22 home runs, but had just 45 runs batted in to show for it. Overall, he hit 196 on the year.
That Milwaukee Park a little better to hit home runs in than St. Louis, although this guy, when he hits them, he can hit them out of anywhere.
Still remember the one he hit over the scoreboard in Goodyear.
Yeah.
Now the 1-2. Down goes Reynolds. That pitch was up and in. Dusted him back.
Yeah, you talk about having to get out of the way. That ball, you see, he cut underneath it, and that ball took off, and it's up and in under the chin of Mark Reynolds.
Two on, two out here in the second for St. Louis. Down in the dirt. Full count. Peter Borges waits on deck. Taking a long time. Now Carrasco's ready. And the payoff. Punches it to right. Base hit. That'll score Peralta. Molina around third. He's coming home. Here's the throw to the plate, and he is safe at the plate.
Well, they'll take a look at it and at least hesitate because Tito's at the top step. They're going to take a look. I don't know if he got his foot in. Home plate umpire Tim Welke said he did.
Boy, Rick, initially it looked like they had him.
The throw from Moss was very good at the plate, but with two outs, you see the jump that Molina got? He was off and running as soon as that ball was put in play. Tough to tell from that angle, but he does get that foot in there. Yes, he's safe. Gets the foot in before that tag is applied right around his back pocket or his hip. See, right up on the high thigh. But I think that he was in there, so a two-out base hit by Reynolds gives the Cardinals a 2-0 lead. And you saw where Molina just slapped the ball that way. Reynolds did the same thing.
So the Cardinals have the early 2-0 lead as Peter Borges steps in. And he hits it hard at first baseman Carlos Santana, who will take the ball to first to end the inning. Cardinals get a 2-out, 2-run hit from Mark Reynolds. They lead it 2-0. Let's go down to Andre Knott for some of the changes in the Indians lineup here tonight. David Murphy is in there in left field with Brantley in center and Michael Bourne out of the lineup.
Yeah, and it's not anything against Bourne at this point in time, Matt. Tito said he came in yesterday on the off day, and he said he was going to come in for an hour. Instead, he spent 7 hours trying to figure out how to do this lineup. They have an extra guy right now with outfielders with Nick Swisher back, and he says, look, right now Murphy's hot. He's 5 for his last 5. Bourne's done nothing to lose his job, but he said one of these guys is going to have to sit as we go through, and he's not going to get in the way of a guy that's hot and take him out of the lineup.
Well, and I don't blame him because, right now you're looking for runs. They've done a better job in the month of May, and there's nothing wrong with that. And believe me, if he spent 7 hours there, he put a lot of thought into it. Because he's got to go and explain it to the guys, what's going on and what's happening. So it's his job to, at least make them positive about it, even though they're taken out of the lineup because you're trying to win ball games here. That's the bottom line.
Now the 1-2 to Murphy. Popped right back over the screen. Now Murphy swinging it well here at home where he's gone 8 for 23 at the plate. 1-2 pitch. Out of play to the left.
Yeah, Murph has been locked in. And I knew the other day when he went 4 for 4, I said, he's asking for playing time. He's going out and putting up. And that's all you have to do when you're sitting over there and you don't get many opportunities. When given the opportunity, you get base hits and you're going to change some minds. And he has done that.
Coming off his 12th career 4-hit game.
Well, David knows. I mean, he's been in the role. Look at that.
Right into the glove of Lance Lynn.
He didn't know it was in there. But able to put it away. Well, we think it went into the glove. At least it looked like it from our vantage point. There's a one-hopper. No, I don't. Yeah, that was right into the glove.
I think they might have been concerned that it grazed his pitching hand.
Okay.
Take another look and see if it did maybe hit the pinky or maybe the wrist.
As it was going before it went into the glove?
Yeah. It must have.
Yeah, it did. It looked like it. See, I bet it hit it before it went into the glove. One of the fingers. Hard to tell, but it did because they're out there looking at it.
Going to give him a couple of warm-up tosses to make sure it's all right.
Trying to get some feeling back in there. I don't know what finger it is, but you can tell. It's like still a little tender.
I don't know how much that would even affect you pitching a baseball.
Yeah, that's why I'm.
Matheny having a long conversation with Tim Welke here as they decide what they want to do. Looks like he's trying to talk his way into staying, and he will, at least for now. Our great clip of the game from Sunday on Mother's Day, Lonnie Chisenhall with a 3-run home run. Helped the Indians blow that game open. Lonnie with a hit in 13 of the last 15 games he has started in. And a foul here. Lays off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Out of play. The Indians took 2 out of 3 from the Cardinals at Old Busch Stadium in 1997. Then in 98, St. Louis came here, and the Indians won both of the games. It was just a 2-game set. 2000, the Indians went back to Old Busch, won 2 out of 3 again. 01, St. Louis came here. It's been the same story ever since. 2 out of 3 the Indians have taken from the Cardinals every time they've met. Two down here in the second inning. 3 strikeouts now for the Cardinal right-hander Lance Lynn as you look at the player profile, courtesy of Levin Furniture. First-round pick in 08 out of Ole Miss. And he has logged, look at that, 23 postseason appearances. Well, people often wonder, like, how do they overcome injuries to players? Well, you've got a guy like this sitting in the wings that people sort of forget about, and yet he's been pretty consistent and reliable. And the Indians go 1-2-3.
Well, get live Indians baseball all season long with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected with live radio broadcasts, stats, breaking news, and more. You can download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball.
Back to the top of the order, Colton Wong takes ball 1. He struck out his only time up. Yeah, a swing and a miss.
Let's see if they make any adjustments off Carrasco that second time through, never facing him before.
Jason Kipnis throws out Colton Wong, 1 away here in the third. It's going to bring up Matt Carpenter.
You can see how windy it is out on the ball, out on the diamond. It is whipping. We don't feel it here because it looks like it's going out a little bit.
Now, Matt Carpenter back in the lineup after missing 4 games with extreme fatigue. It was kind of a puzzling circumstance for Carpenter and the Cardinals organization. Their general manager was quoted as saying, hey, when a player's going through something and you can't pinpoint exactly what it is, it's always concerning. But we're just thankful that he's feeling better each and every day. And he said, we have to be smart moving forward. Looking back on what was it that maybe caused it.
Yeah.
You look for signs in the dirt.
Well, your first instinct, the way he's playing, you want to keep him in the lineup no matter how. But, if there's, like you say, the exhaustion, it's not like the weather or anything like that where you can dehydrate yourself.
Well, that's what he said. He goes, when you hear somebody's dehydrated and they have dizziness, your assumption is, well, just get them full of fluids and they'll be fine.
Right.
Clearly it was something more than that. And they needed to step back and evaluate the situation. But he's back in the lineup tonight. And he's now 0 for 2 as Ramirez throws him out here. 2 down for Matt Holliday. Our T-Mobile game changer. And Matt Holliday, this is what I was talking about before. He had that monster year with the Rockies back in 2007 when they went to the World Series. He hasn't come close to those numbers since, but boy, year in, year out, he's, you can pencil it in.
Yeah. You talk about track records, he certainly has one.
Because I think there's always an assumption, since that ballpark opened in Colorado, that if a guy does something there, you have to take those numbers sort of with a grain of salt.
They're skewed because they're playing 81 games, 81 of your 162 in that altitude.
And so certainly with Holliday, you could say, okay, maybe he's not 37 and 130 every year, but you'll take 20 plus and 100.
And 100, yeah. That's every year. And clutch hits and, hitting the middle part of that lineup.
Big bouncer to first base. Santana has it kick off his body, and by the time he recovers, Holliday beats it out. So the inning will continue for St. Louis.
That'll be the 20th error now by the Indians. Just sort of an in-between hop. He tried to go in there, but he ended up going off his thigh, I think, and deflected away. So that ball gets away, a 2-out error.
And again, it brings up Johnny Peralta. Swung at the first pitch he saw in the second inning. Or was it the second pitch? He banged it right back up the middle, and it hit off the back of Carlos Carrasco's shoe.
And you look at that inning that they had 3 hits. Johnny started it with a single there by going off the back of his shoe, and then Molina just guides one into right, and so did Mark Reynolds. But that was good for 2 runs in the second.
Peralta, notoriously a slow starter, a career 243 hitter in the month of April. But you look up here, he's hitting 298 already this year. The Indians are beginning a stretch where they'll play 20 games in 20 days. Right. Cardinals are in the midst of that. Peralta has 15 RBIs, 3 home runs during this stretch.
Okay. Yeah, the Indians, that's their – yesterday was their off day, their last until June 1st, I should say.
Popped up. Kipnis says, I'll take it. And he does. Indians work around the 2-out error. And we'll go to the bottom of the third. St. Louis 2, Cleveland nothing. Just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Jose Ramirez will lead off here in the bottom of the third. Ramirez 0 for 9 at the plate. And takes a strike. Try to bunt, but to no avail. It's 0-2. Lance Lynn. He's a guy that obviously I think with Adam Wainwright done for the year, they're really, I mean, look, they've got a good rotation.
Everybody has to step it up, though, when you lose your number one guy.
Colton Wong will throw out Ramirez one away as we take a look at the injury report brought to you by the injury lawyers at Elk and Elk. You'll see that Wainwright is out for the season. Garcia on the 15-day DL. There was some talk I read that they're thinking about at least talking about what about a six-man rotation? I don't know. I mean, I think there's always room for discussion to talk about it. I don't think those things ever really work out well.
Well, when's the last time you've seen one?
Well, Colorado,
they went to 4.
Is that what they did? They went the other way on it?
Yeah, they were only pitching like 70 pitches.
That didn't work out well either.
No, they were going like 3 innings.
Kipnis socks one, left center field. That's over the head of Borges. He won't get it. To the wall it goes, and Kipnis into second base with a one-out double. The Indians' third hit of the game.
See, that's what we're talking about with Jason. He's driving the ball.
Yeah.
To all fields. He's just not hitting it that way. He's hitting it with some authority. That's now his 6th double. And Borges was in. That was a little breaking ball down. That was a pretty good pitch. Little breaking ball down over the head of Borges in center. So a one-out double will give the Indians an opportunity now to get on the board.
Carlos Santana.
You know, I know you only lead off once a game, but I just think he's in a pretty good frame of mind up in that leadoff spot. You're going to get, at least 4, and a lot of times 5 if your offense does anything in a game at bats.
And Carlos Santana looks at a strike. Santana singled. His first time up went off the glove of a diving Matt Adams at first base. And he takes a little bit low, 1-1. For Santana, he has batted .303 on the year with a runner in scoring position. So that's something that the Indians could use right here. Down 2-0 here in the bottom of the third. The 2-1. Hammered but foul. Boy, did he hit that a ton. That went into the corner.
Well, and he pulled that fastball foul. And you see how far foul he pulled it. So if you're a pitcher, you're thinking to yourself, look, I know it was a 2-1 count, and boy, he was loaded and locked and ready for it. But he tried to hit that one out of the stadium. I would think a changeup away would be a pretty good pitch, or something slowing away after he pulled a pretty good heater up.
See Molina pat the ground. Struck him out looking. Went back in with a fastball. And that's the 4th strikeout of the game for Lance Lynn. 2 down.
Well, let's go. They see he patted the ground and they come inside with the heater. So they tried to set him up in case anybody's given any signs.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? You lock him out with a fastball in. That time he went inside. Good pitch.
So with 2 down, Michael Brantley will step in. He singled to right field his first time up. Now, Lance Lynn, he's a guy that can pile up a lot of strikeouts. He's posted 3 consecutive seasons with 175 or more. First Cardinals pitcher to do that since Bob Gibson. And then Adam Wainwright also did it last year as well.
Wow.
So, I mean, but he just sort of flies under the radar.
Yeah, but I mean, he has good stuff. But look at Molina. Right now they're talking about how they want to go against Michael Brantley. Brantley had the base hit last time up. You have Moss on deck. But, they just want to talk about the approach of how they want to try to get him out or pitch him in this at-bat.
Our Kia in the driver's seat shows you that Michael Brantley doesn't strike out.
Right.
Heck, he doesn't swing and miss.
Well, 7 times he has. But that's a rarity. But, yeah, once every 35 times he'll go down swinging. And, I mean, it's not even close. Nobody's even remotely close. They're 20 back behind him. That's what I'm telling you. You better have a good game plan if you're going to come out and try and get Michael Brantley out. He didn't like
Brantley's looking at Tim Welke. He's like, really? I don't think that was a strike. It looked like Molina was set up off the plate. Well, didn't it? He's set up off the plate. And he called that a strike.
Yeah.
That one's inside, 1-1. Jason Kipnis at second base with 2 down. And look, I'm sure they're not sitting there with looking at certain statistics, but Brantley, as if all of his numbers aren't impressive enough, 458 average with runners in scoring position.
Well, when you go through your team meetings, as they did, I'm sure today, Brantley's the guy you don't want to beat you. In situations, pitch around him. You've got first base open here, and I know it's early, but they're not.
That's what they're trying to do.
Exactly.
It's just that they got an inadvertent strike call.
Well, they got the inadvertent strike call, and you say, okay, that's good, but they're not going to give in. He went inside, he went outside. You still don't let him get a base hit here to get on the board. You take your walk.
You see Molina was
that's
way
what
off
makes
the plate
Michael
that time.
so good is that he's that patient. He takes his walk. Go ahead. Now it's your turn, Brandon Moss. First walk of the night by Lance Lynn.
Well, Moss struck out his first time up, but Lynn really executed well in that at-bat. Remember, there were 2 on and only 1 out in the first inning.
Well, he has more holes than Brantley, so you take your chances. If you make a mistake, he can put 3 up in a hurry. And that's what you hope for. There's a
throw down to second, but not in time. Nice job by Peralta to pick that, because if he doesn't, then Kipnis comes around and scores.
That'll be a wild pitch, and that's the first for Lynn this year. Down in the dirt, he tried to backhand it, but you see he went straight to second base. He didn't even look. And you're right, it's a short hop that Peralta picks. So now a base hit could tie the game up.
Missed inside, 2-0. Now, the first time up with 2 on, now they were first and second, not second and third. Cardinals didn't employ the 3-man shift on the right side for Moss. This time they do.
Well, he's not afraid to throw that ball inside. He came back in. To me, that's one of the toughest pitches to get called a strike. But, with some umpires, they will not ring up hitters inside, but there's a good pitch.
Well, he's working, as they say, both sides of the plate.
Well, you watch. Then he slides away, and that's right at the knees, and it's right on the outside edge.
And the 2-2 just off the plate.
No, that's a tough pitch to take. That looked like the pitch. You know what? That's the pitch that it looked like he called a strike with Brantley right there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly right.
On that first one, and you take that pitch, and he doesn't call it. So, now again, another full count.
The payoff pitch is strike 3. So 5 punch-outs for Lance Lynn. The Indians leave 2 more. After 3, it's the Cardinals 2 and the Indians nothing. Fourth inning.
People look a little chilly sitting in the seats, don't they?
Yeah.
Spoiled over the weekend. They had to dig deep and break out the
I think a lot of it,
sweatshirts, the blankets.
A lot of it's where you're sitting. If you're sitting there right in the path of the wind coming in tonight, I could see where you might want that blanket.
Yeah.
Out of play. Breaking ball in the dirt, swung and missed. And Roberto Perez will throw him out. 1 down here in the 4th.
Well, the Tribe will take on the Cincinnati Reds on Saturday, May 23rd, right here at Progressive Field. And you can save on tickets You buy a lower reserved or a lower box by May 18th, and you can save 19%. The deal is available only at Indians.com.
Fouled right back. Yadier Molina singled and scored in the second inning. And Carrasco quickly gets ahead of him. 0-2. Off the plate. Trying to get him to expand the strike zone. He chased that time, tested his patience, and back-to-back strikeouts for Carrasco here in the fourth.
Looked like a slider going away. It was. He's not going to let you serve him that time. So strikeout number 5 for Carlos.
And here's Jason Hayward for the second time. Grounded out. His first time up, chopped one off the plate. And Jason Kipnis was able to charge in and make a play on him.
Right now it looks like Carlos realizes, hey, I've got to throw zeros up there so my offense can figure it out. He's had right now 10, make it 11, 0-2, 1-2 counts. He has been ahead.
The 0-2. And it's a foul by Hayward.
I want to send along some birthday wishes to one of our fantasy campers, Cody Westmoreland. It's his birthday today, Cody, down there in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. And also Rose Rosinger, who is 85 years young, a big Indians fan. Rose, happy birthday to you.
The 0-2 offering. Popped him up. Out goes Chisenhall. And Lonnie makes the grab. It's a quick 1-2-3 fourth inning for Carlos Carrasco. He struck out 5 Cardinals on the day, but the St. Louis leads it 2-0.
Well, it'll be a Sugardale Dollar Dog Night on Friday when we open up that series against the Cincinnati Reds. Plus, after the game, you stick around. The first post-game fireworks show coming your way this year. Visit Indians.com for your tickets.
Bottom of the fourth inning. Nick Swisher, David Murphy, Lonnie Chisenhall due up for Cleveland. Got a piece of that. Got a piece of Molina in the process. It's 0-1.
Like a little cut fastball there. Started him off with a changeup.
That fastball took off 2-2. Now the 2-2, and it's a little bit high, full count. Swisher, then David Murphy, followed by Lonnie Chisenhall here in the home half of the fourth. Drive down 2-0. And Swisher pops the 3-2 high in the air. Wong, fighting the wind, makes the catch and hangs on.
You can see it, not an easy play. He kept the feet moving. Lynn has 5 strikeouts on the night, and you can see he throws that fastball up and away. Got Swisher the first time with the fastball there. It looks like a cutter down and in for Chisenhall. He locked up Santana with a good fastball in, and then he throws one right by Brandon Moss.
Well, the Indians have made him throw a lot of pitches. That's, they've had a little traffic, couple of runners on twice. So he's up over 60 pitches here with one out in the fourth. But when he's needed to make a pitch so far, he's been pinpoint accurate.
Anytime they've had a runner in scoring position, he gets the strikeout. The Indians haven't been able to put one in play.
Murphy to center field. Saw Borges almost come to a dead stop. With that wind blowing straight in, the ball's just not going to carry out in that direction. Anywhere from center to left.
See, he's checking it out. He's looking at it like it's blowing out, but he took off like it was smoked because Murphy put a good charge into this. Watch, he drops it, turns around, and then has to put on the brakes.
Well, what do you think, Rick? 2 days ago, that ball's maybe off the wall.
Well, the way it was carrying,
85, and
probably right. Probably right.
Lonnie
That's
Chisenhall.
called bad hitting, not going with the elements. You need your line drive stroke today.
2-iron special.
Tee it low.
1-1 to count on Lonnie. And that's low and away. Smashed right back through Lynn, but Peralta scoops it up behind the bag, and the Indians are retired 1-2-3. After 4, it's still the Cardinals 2 and the Indians nothing.
Baseball is brought to you by your Northern Ohio Honda dealers, by the Cleveland Clinic. Call for an appointment today. And by the game-changing all-new Ford F-150. The future is tough.
Fifth inning here at Progressive Field. St. Louis 2, Cleveland nothing. Mark Reynolds will lead it off for the Cardinals. Reynolds came up with a 2-out, 2-run single to right field in the second, accounting for the only run so far. And now he leads off the fifth with a base hit right up the middle. Our AT&T U-verse rewind. Let's go back to that second inning when Reynolds got a pitch that went up under his chin, knocked him down, and then he comes right back and just punches it into right field.
That was a good pitch. That was a better job of getting a base hit. And now Mark Reynolds goes right up the middle with it. Well, I remember him. It was all or nothing with his swing. He's got 2 base hits, 1 to right, now 1 up the middle.
Peter Borges going to right field near the line. Foul ball.
You can see that ball slicing into the seats. Borges, a guy that came up with the Angels. Remember, they knew he could fly. They had a guy named Mike Trout over there. So this guy was expendable.
One ball, one strike. Trying to hold up, but he went around. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
There you see, he did go. That ball was running inside.
And there's a liner to center field. And it drops for a base hit. So back-to-back singles right up the middle by St. Louis at the bottom of the order. And now we go to the top with 2 on and nobody out.
That ball, you know what? It didn't run in enough. It stayed on too much of the plate. That two-seamer, you know, it's nice when it's got downward movement, but when it stays on the same plane and it doesn't get in there, you know, it's sort of flat. It had a little movement, but it stayed in the middle of the plate, and Borges hit it right back up the middle. So now a good start to this 5th inning. Getting back to the top of the lineup now for the 3rd time.
Well, Colton Wong struck out, grounded out. So far here tonight. He squares. He bunts it hard in the air. Carrasco has it, and he'll just hold on for out number 1.
He had a double play at second base. He looked to first originally. That's where the speedster is. Borges. At second base, he had Reynolds, and he had a double play. Look at Reynolds. He took off. He took 3 steps. You throw behind him. If his first thought was second base, they would have had a double play. But, I mean, you get caught up into it. You catch the ball. You know you just want to get a double play. I guess it was easier to look at first base than it was to turn around and look all the way to second. But they get the out.
Yeah, that's going to bring up Matt Carpenter, who's grounded out twice tonight. Once to third, once to short. And it's in the dirt, ball 1. I'm sure the Cardinals are wondering, after missing the 4 games, just what kind of player Matt Carpenter is right now. Is he still going to feel the effects? Is he going to be a little rusty just from missing 4 games?
It usually takes you a little bit, yes. After you miss 4 games and he was locked in. First of all, they say he's ready. If he's back in there, you just assume he's ready. But Carrasco's made some pretty good pitches to this guy tonight. There's a changeup. And you've never faced him before, so you really don't know what he likes to throw in certain counts. But he's made some very good pitches to Carpenter. I would say this guy is ready.
Swing and a miss. Good fastball. Threw it by him. It's 1-2. Second in the National League with the runners in scoring position. 8 out of 16 on the year. Got him looking.
Look at that pitch.
Over the outside corner for the second out of the inning, and a big one for Carrasco. His 6th strikeout of the game, and Carpenter is now 0 for 3.
Came back with an excellent changeup. He didn't like that call, a lot like Brantley didn't like his call as this ball's running away from him. As I told you before, he's over a 300 hitter with 2 strikes, but I'll tell you, Carrasco has pitched him very good.
Not out of the woods yet as Matt Holliday steps in. It was a 2-out RBI hit in the second inning that gave the Cardinals their only 2 runs of the game. And now he punches one to center field. That's going to drop for another RBI hit. 3-0 St. Louis as Reynolds speeds home and Borges goes to third.
Well, you can see what the Cardinals' approach is when they get runners in scoring position. They're trying to shoot it the other way. Now, Matt Holliday hit a good pitch. Now, this is going to be another 2-seamer running in. Let's see if there's any movement. It was in off the plate. And he was thinking that way. There's no way you can hit that ball to right field if you're just normally up there. He had to be conscious of that before he stepped into the batter's box with runners in scoring position. So all 3 runs today have come towards the right field side.
And all with 2 outs. Here's Johnny Peralta.
That's pretty good hitting right there. I'm sorry.
Peralta jammed, rolls one to
No,
short.
he tried to pull it, and that's what happens to you when you try to pull that pitch, but Holliday didn't.
Cardinals add to their lead with 3 more hits here in the 5th. They lead it now 3-0. This series continues tomorrow night against the Cardinals. Indians Live kicks things off with Alan Jensen at 5:30 from our set here at Progressive Field. Then we'll have every pitch starting at 6 right here on Sports Time Ohio. Here's Roberto Perez, who's grounded out the shortest first and only time up. He takes strike one. And a strike is called. It's 1-2. Lance Lynn fires and Perez shoots one up into the club seats. Perez, then Jose Ramirez, followed by Jason Kipnis here in the 5th inning. Tribe down 3-0 and a foul back.
Got a text from our buddy Greg Swindell down in Texas. He's watching the Tribe game tonight.
I'll bet he's a little warmer than we are.
Yeah. Well, we'll be down in this state.
That's right.
Come the weekend. Thursday, the 12 o'clock game to close out a quick homestand, and we're heading to Texas.
Down to Arlington. Oh, they said he went around on the appeal.
That's right. They checked it.
Mike Everett punches him out. That's 6 strikeouts now for Lance Lynn as we get another look up from the side.
It's close.
Yeah.
But they said he's gone.
Well, here's Jose Ramirez, 0 for 1. Lynn has now retired 5 straight. And it's outside, ball 1. Well, strike called. From August 9th through the end of last year, Jose Ramirez batted .298. But we have yet to see that confident player yet this year.
Well, that's not a long time. He spent, maybe a couple of months in the big leagues last year and got off to a pretty nice start. He was exciting, and he got on base. He made things happen, but, they've made some adjustments with him.
Well, he draws a 1-out walk here. Let's go downstairs to Andre, who has the latest on Yan Gomes and his quest to get back here.
Yes, guys, this is maybe the biggest day of the rehab for Yan Gomes. Today he came to the ballpark. He worked out. He caught pitches in the dirt. He's done everything, basically. They got down in his catcher's stance, ran, hit, all that good stuff. Basically, it comes down to how does he feel tomorrow. Now, he just told me a couple minutes ago he feels good, but they want to make sure the knee feels good tomorrow. And hopefully, knock on wood, he may get to go out in a rehab stint very soon and be back in this lineup. And remember, with Roberto Perez now hitting a little bit better and catching, they don't need him to catch every day when he gets back. They are even willing to let him DH and catch every other day possibly.
He's been chomping at the bit for a while. Remember, we saw him in Detroit, and he was just a few weeks out of it. He was ready to rock and roll.
Well, he's about a month. I think he's about a month into it now. And they said initially 6 to 8 weeks, and he wanted to beat that. So I wouldn't bet against Yan Gomes because he has diligently gone about the rehab work. He's been very respectful and mindful of, the doctors and the trainers and working within their confines. But he wants to be back here as soon as he absolutely can. Well, Jason Kipnis has got himself on a 3-0 count here with a runner aboard and 1 out, and Carlos Santana on deck. just did shave the outside part of the plate. So it's 3-1. Kipnis took a look down at third base coach Mike Sarabos. Andy Alomar is always coaching over at first, where Ramirez has his lead. And that's ball 4. So 2 walks in the inning. 3 in the game now for Lance Lynn. And the Indians have an opportunity to come right back down 3-0 with Carlos Santana coming up.
Well, 10,000 fans will receive a 1975 replica jersey. That'll be courtesy of Shears. That'll take place Saturday, May 23rd. The Indians will take on the Cincinnati Reds. Just go to Indians.com for your tickets.
Out of his 16 pitches so far here in the 5th, Lance Lynn has only thrown 7 strikes. Now here's Santana, who singled in the first and was called out on strikes in that 3rd inning. And he takes the strike. And he's either not happy with the umpire or not happy with himself. That's low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Some stirring in the St. Louis pen, but no action. 1-1. That's low. 2 balls and a strike. I think those guys out there in the bullpens, they just can sort of sense when things are starting to get maybe
middle part of the game.
Yep.
And you know, guys that would normally come in, look, you start stretching.
Yep.
And you start getting loose, because you're just waiting for that phone to ring. So your role. The guys that are pitching the 8th and 9th inning, they're still sitting there having a cup of coffee, reading a book.
Santana smokes at the center field. That's a base hit, and Ramirez, with no jump at all, has to stop at third. He was dancing between second and third. I think he thought maybe it was going to hang. Well, the bases are loaded, and there's only 1 out.
You're down 3 runs. You really do have to make sure that he doesn't catch the ball. That was a line drive, and I mean hit right at him. He probably wasn't going to catch it, but you can't take that chance there. You just got to advance 1 base, keep it rolling. Now they have the bases loaded, just 1 out. And I mean a great opportunity, and you have your best hitter coming to the plate.
Derek Lilliquist, one-time Indian, out to talk with Lance Lynn. You may have noticed when we shot the dugout, the man standing next to Mike Matheny is former Indian David Bell. He's the Cardinals bench coach. Right now, Matheny's looking at his matchups. And there's David Bell to the right of Matheny.
Oh, yeah.
David hit an inside-the-park home run here off Randy Johnson, I think.
Yeah, that is correct. I'm not sure if that was the very first one in this ballpark or not. I think it was.
Michael Brantley takes it's up high, ball 1. Bases loaded, 1 out as the Indians try to make some noise here in the 5th. Two and 0, and Lance Lynn, he's having trouble finding the strike zone all of a sudden in this inning.
Well, he has pitched at least 5 innings in all 6 starts this year, but the Indians have him on the verge. They don't have anybody up yet, so it would take a while.
Almost hit him. 3-0.
That's what happens. You get him from the stretch, although he did, you look back in that 3rd inning.
That's when he was at his best earlier in the game.
Well, right now it's not. I don't know what happened because the control sort of left him.
Brantley takes, and it just barely caught the corner. 3-1.
Yeah, Michael's not going to swing at that. Boy, oh boy.
That was probably generous. Bases loaded, 1 out, 3-1 pitch. Bullseye, full count.
Michael's going to make him throw 3 in a row. He's not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. You know, he'll take that walk or any way to get a run home to get this offense rolling. It was all set up by the walks.
The payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. One of the rare times this year that Michael Brantley has swung and missed.
8th time, and I'll tell you, he challenged him with a heater. Michael got the fastball, so nothing you can say. He went to 3-2. There it is, right down the middle. And he comes up empty. That is a rarity. That was a decent pitch to hit.
Well, that's going to leave it up once again to Brandon Moss. Moss batting for the 3rd time tonight with multiple runners aboard. He struck out with 2 on and 1 out in the first. And he struck out with 2 on and 2 out in the third. Now batting bases loaded, 2 outs in the 5th. And a foul in and out of the glove of Molina. And now Moss down on the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Boy, if he can get out of this one, that's going to be some kind of trick. After walking 2 and striking out 2 in this inning.
It's a 30-pitch inning for the Cardinals right-hander as he's nearing 100 for the game. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And the 2-2 pitch to Moss. And he strikes him out. Lance Lynn, the magician, loads him up and strikes out 3 all in the same inning.
game at the new two-story bar with our $13 district ticket, which is presented by Sports Time Ohio. The new bar, best place in town to grab a cold one. And with the district ticket, your first drink is on us. Visit Indians.com.
Matt Adams leading off the 6th inning for St. Louis. He's 0 for 2, has struck out twice. And a seed hit right at the shortstop Ramirez with the shift on. 1 down. In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. A 2-out, 2-run punch to right field by Mark Reynolds gave the Cardinals the lead. And then on the 5th, they did it again. A 2-out RBI single by Matt Holliday. And that's all the scoring so far here tonight. 3-0 Cardinals. Smash to center, and Yadier Molina has his second hit of the ball game. Good line drive approach in that.
Yeah, he smoked that one. Now, this is a breaking ball, Matt, and, you know, he got him with the slider the time before. That had a hump in it, though. That he left that one up in the zone. The pitch he struck him out on was a well-located slider. This one stayed up, and Molina took advantage of it. That's hit number 7 now for St. Louis, and the second one for Yadier Molina.
But the theme of this game so far, Rick, is the Cardinals' willingness to take. But that's a nice play by David Murphy on a sprint to make the catch over his shoulder. Take what the pitchers are giving and give in and take it to the other way instead of trying to load up and hit one 6 miles.
I totally agree with you. There's a good pitch down and away, and he just slaps it that way. Look at Reynolds doing the same thing. That drove in the first 2 run, and then all of a sudden he went with an inside-out approach. He took something that was hard and inside, takes it the other way, and those are the 3 runs. That one there was not a good pitch. The other ones were good pitches.
Jason Hayward is 0 for 2, or excuse me, Mark Reynolds is 2 for 2 on the night.
So, you know, he took his chance there with that first swing and tried to get after it.
We didn't see Mark Reynolds give in a lot when he was
I was going to say, how many
Indians.
times did you see him get base hits to right field?
Couple, maybe.
Maybe they were off the end of the bat, but his approach went to right field the first time up.
Yeah, good point. Yeah. And a foul back. 0-2 the count.
All 7 hits for the Cardinals, they have been up the middle or the other way.
Now the 2-strike pitch. Ran it in. And Reynolds able to lay off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bounced it in there. And Molina has to quickly retreat to first. Boy, he was a good third of the way towards second base and then slammed on the brakes when he saw Perez quickly get to the ball.
Well, you think you're going to go and try and get yourself in scoring position. You realize it didn't get that far away from him.
Right field, where Reynolds, suddenly he's a Punch and Judy hitter. That 2-2 pitch is pulled fair behind the bag. And Chisenhall on the throw was in the dirt, and Santana couldn't dig it out. So 2 on and 2 away here in the 6th inning.
It'll be the second error of the night on the Indians. What's that, a hit? Well, the ball's right over the third base bag. Chisenhall fields it. It's just a good throw, and he's out.
Well, wasn't exactly a tricky hop, though.
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, I don't care how they scored. They still got the inning going, and whether it's a hit or it's an error. It's an error in my eyes, but it doesn't matter. He's on base.
So 2 on, 2 out. Peter Borges, who had a base hit in the 5th inning, is at the plate. And a broken bat bouncer to short will get him out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's St. Louis 3, Cleveland nothing. Baseball returns Saturday with another doubleheader of division rivalries. The Braves take on the Marlins, and then the Pirates square off against the Cubs. Coverage begins at 1 p.m. on your home for baseball every Saturday, Fox Sports 1, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Nick Swisher to lead off the bottom of the 6th for the Cleveland Indians. And he pulls it foul. Swisher 0 for 2 here so far in the game. Low.
They swung.
Oh, wow.
They appeal, they look, they ask. He said yes.
Okay, let's see what the side look shows us.
That was a lot like what Perez did.
Yeah. I guess if you start, they're going to call it tonight. Bat leaves your shoulder, it's going to be a strike.
Well, most of the time you're used to seeing guys saying no.
Yeah.
No. But all of a sudden you see a couple of quick, yes, he did.
Now the 0-2. A little bit outside. Well, it's back to even now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, Swisher leads off here in the bottom of the 6th. And a full count.
This is going to be the 6th full count for Lynn tonight. The Indians are 0 for 5.
Well, I just think it's interesting. He's at 102 pitches, and there's nobody moving in the St. Louis bullpen.
I saw that.
Leadoff walk. So Swisher's aboard. That's the first time tonight the Indians have had their leadoff man aboard. Time for a Mazda game break. Here's Al.
Hey, Matt, Rick, let's head down to St. Petersburg. Chris Archer, the former Indians farmhand, on the mound, and he's down 2-0. Base hit here in the first by Carlos Beltran. 2-0 Yanks. They're now in the 4th inning in Florida. Matt?
All right, thanks, Al. Here is David Murphy, 0 for 2. Murphy smoked one his last time up. And I said that had it been a ball hit on Sunday, it might have been out of here for a home run, or at least off the wall maybe. But it died well short of the warning track.
It sure did.
Andre overheard some similar sentiments down in the dugout. So you definitely, it's just a different feel in terms of the way the ball is carrying so far here tonight. Swung on and missed. 0-2 on Murphy. Randy Choate, first man up, left-hander in the Cardinal bullpen. To left field. And a catch made there by Holiday, one away. Lonnie Chisenhall 0 for 2 has struck out, grounded out. And that's hit foul on the left side, out of play. No runs on 4 hits for Cleveland, 3 runs on 8 hits for St. Louis. One ball, 1 strike. Indians left 2 in the first, 2 in the third, left them loaded in the 5th. Out of play to the left. Lynn ready with a 1-2 now, and it's outside to even the count. St. Louis began the night best record in baseball at 22-9. 6 games better than the Cubs. 6.5 better than Pittsburgh. Just outside, full count.
Well, he's had now 7 full counts tonight. So he's not afraid. He doesn't give in. He goes out there, and he's been trying for that outside corner because he has some called out there. But he's going to have to make a pitch here.
Yeah, Lonnie just looked like he spoiled one to stay alive.
Right. That was too close to take. You know, you're not going to put it in the umpire's hands. That is a borderline pitch, but I'd be afraid to take it. That's off. I mean, you see where his glove goes, and he hits that ball. It's about a foot outside.
Yeah, maybe the fact that it was up, it's a little easier to get to spoil
to
as
handle
well.
It. That's true.
Swisher, the runner at first base, held by Holiday. And the 3-2 to Lonnie is bounced in the hole, cut off by Adams. Goes to second for one, back to first. And Chisenhall goes down in a heap. He's safe at first, but is he okay? Yeah, looks like he's all right.
Looked like he tripped over Lynn's foot going down there. When that pitcher has to cover first base, it's always an awkward play. Because there goes Adams. He delivers the throw. Lynn's job is to get to first. And a lot of times shortstops don't like to throw. You see him dragging that foot. He stepped right on the bottom of his shoe.
Yeah.
This is what he did. Watch. He's lucky. He's in the middle of the bag because the pitchers, when they run over to get that, Lynn was looking at Chisenhall like, is he all right? And he got stepped on.
Yeah, Lynn's lucky he didn't get badly hurt there.
That's what I'm saying. You can see Chisenhall goes down. Landed awkwardly. You see, the pitchers, they can't find the bag. They're searching for it.
Right.
So they're just trying to drag their foot and get it there. They don't realize where they're located. He was right in the middle of the bag.
He steps on the side of his foot, then Lynn's down and may still be down. But all right, so 2 down and a runner at first. Roberto Perez, swing and a miss. Outside. That's a ball outside, 2-1.
Went up to 116 pitches. His previous high before that was 112.
And a foul right back. Well, take a look at what he's done so far by inning. Remember, the Indians had 2 aboard in the first with 1 out. They had 2 on and 2 out in the third, and bases loaded, 1 out in the 5th. Those were his tough innings. And the 2-2. Strike 3 called. 9 strikeouts for Lance Lynn, 6 shutout innings. The Cardinals continue to lead it 3-0.
Indians baseball is brought to you by Kia. Visit mykiacleveland.com to learn more. By Levin Mattress, located in all Levin furniture and freestanding locations. And by AT&T Uverse, has more channels on the go than cable.
Well, St. Louis Cardinals leading at 3-0, 7th inning. Top of the order for the Cardinals, Colton Wong, 0 for 3. High fly ball, deep right field. Back is Moss. And that's out number 1.
You know, you look at Matt Carpenter and the sequence by Carrasco, which was very good. That was a sinker he missed. He gets him to swing over one there. So it's 1-1. Went with a good fastball away. And look at that. Got the call. Carpenter didn't agree with it. But that ball was running away. And we've seen a number of pitches out there tonight called strikes. He's been very tough on Matt Carpenter.
Well, we've seen some calls out there that were strikes. That weren't strikes that were called, though. I mean, some balls that were really outside. Like he went back to the same pitch he struck him out with to start him off this time.
Well, he's going to spot him that one. He's not going to swing at it. Because Carrasco made him go to the left side of the infield, grounded to third, grounded to short, and then struck him out. So everything pretty much has been away.
Up high. And it's 1-1. I guess it's funny, though, with all the games the Indians have played in the Central Division in the American League. You look at the lineup that the Royals are running out there. You look at the lineup that the Tigers have. And you match it up against this St. Louis team. And, you know, at least when you look at the numbers statistically, you would think those Royals and Tigers are much better lineups. And yet here are the Cardinals with the best record in all of baseball
that's
coming in.
Yes, they do. They have the highest winning percentage.
Not that Kansas City and Detroit are far behind St. Louis record-wise, but...
Well, and it's a grind. It's an everyday thing. It's not the best numbers. It's you got to play as a team to win.
And that's probably where St. Louis really thrives, is the team concept. You know, the 1 through 9, every guy has his job and doesn't do more than he's supposed to do.
Well, you get on a roll and you try to win every series you play. And they've done a pretty darn good job at it. As a matter of fact, over the weekend, they only lost their first one.
Yeah.
Against Pittsburgh.
You win 8 out of 9 series, you're going to be playing in October.
That's right. That's the key to this game. If you can do it, win the series. And, you know, a lot of times you go into that. The Cardinals have lost the first game of a series 4 times this year. But all 4 times they've been able to come back and win that series. They win the next 2 games. The Indians are having a tough time winning 2 games in a row. So you don't win the series.
That ball smashed in the gap. That'll go all the way to the wall. And Carpenter's into second base with a 1-out double.
Well, that's his 15th double. And I know you got to show him something different, but you speed up his bat here, and he's been able to. There you go. That's why he finds a gap. That was a breaking ball that stayed out over the plate. It's a good pitch for him to handle. And he handles it, and he doesn't miss it. So he gets his first hit of the night. It's the first extra base hit for the Cardinals on the evening. And it's hit number 9.
Ball 1 to Matt Holliday. He drove in the last run of this game with a 2-out RBI single in the 5th.
Well, you mentioned that reaching base, starting a season. He did it 30 times, but trailing only Albert Pujols. That doesn't surprise you, does it?
Yeah, I guess not. I would have thought it was an older time Cardinal that had the top mark, but Pujols was
best player in the National League
really
for how many years?
I mean, yeah. Swing and a miss. And Carrasco has his 7th strikeout of the night. 2 down here in inning number 7.
Well, he comes back with a changeup here. And you can see how out in front that Holiday is. There it is. It's a split change. It has a little downward movement. It's a little harder. Salazar's change has been unbelievably good.
Yeah.
This one is a little harder than what Salazar throws, but he still had Holiday out in front.
Carrasco right at the 100 pitch mark as Mickey Callaway goes out to talk. First base open. Johnny Peralta, right-handed hitter, is up. Left-handed hitting Matt Adams follows him. We got a left-hander up in the bullpen. Johnny Peralta singled off the shoe of Carrasco in the 2nd inning, and since then a pop-up and a ground out. Fouled third base side. Mark Zubchinski is loose and looks like he's ready to come into the game if needed. You know, I wonder if Mickey Callaway went out and one of the things he may have told Carrasco was, look, this is your last guy right here. So,
well, Peralta has outstanding numbers against Carrasco in his career, so you better be careful because that first pitch was way too good to hit.
One ball, one strike. Boy, tried to make the perfect pitch.
That's okay.
Didn't get the call.
I'll tell you, that's where you got to attack. You can't give them anything to really get out there and swing at. It's a good pitch. It was off the plate. Maybe Carrasco wanted it. Now he and Perez trying to get on the same page.
I thought Mike Matheny's description of Johnny Peralta was interesting. He said there's a pace to his game. It's an intentional pace. He goes, I'm not sure that it works for a lot of players, but I think he's able to slow the game down by the way he approaches it. He has the kind of personality that's not, look at me, it's more of a watch me. Hit pretty well to right field. Sprinting back is Moss. He won't get it. And one hops the fence. And it will plate Matt Carpenter with the Cardinals' 4th run of the night. As Johnny Peralta delivers his 2nd hit of the game. It's his 9th double of the year and his 16th run batted in on the season.
Well, and he continues to wear Carrasco out. Why he throws him a strike to hit is beyond me. You can't afford to give up anymore. And what's he do? He hangs a breaking ball, and they both talked about this pitch before it happened. So this is something where you've got to get on that same page. He cannot hit a ball over your right fielder's head. That's a bad pitch.
Well, Carrasco departs. And he's barking at home plate umpire Tim Welke as he leaves the field.
That's frustration.
Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen is for left-hander Mark Zubczynski, who's coming on with the Indians down 4-0 in the 7th. Cardinals lead at 4-0. They've got a runner at second, 2 out. Matt Adams, the batter. Mark Zubczynski now pitching for Cleveland. And Zubczynski fires it in there for a first pitch strike. 16th appearance of the year for Zubczynski. Walked 4, struck out 11 in 8 2/3. And he puts him in the hole 0-2. Zubczynski pitched parts of 3 seasons with the Cardinals. In the dirt before he came to the Indians at the trading deadline in 2013. Well, he had quite a run at the end of that season, too. In 27 games with the Indians that year, he had an .089 earned run average. Here's the 1-2. Missed inside. Matt Adams struck out swinging in the second, struck out swinging in the fourth. And then he grounded out to Jose Ramirez in the 6th inning. The 2-2. Right back up the middle. Ramirez, no play. Once the ball got by Zubczynski, there was nobody home.
Well, they're playing him over. into that shift. You could see 3 men on the right side, and this ball was on the shortstop side of the base. So Ramirez he wisely holds the ball because he wasn't going to get anybody, and that's it for Zipchinski. One hitter, one and done.
Timeout. Brian Shaw's coming on next.
Come back. We want to take a look at this at bat one more time. The pitch by pitch to Johnny Peralta. He fouls the first one off. That was too good of a pitch to hit to begin with. Now a high fastball away. You have first base open. There's a slider down and away. I think he wanted that pitch, but now they're going to go talk about it. Now Peralta, take into consideration, is 7 for 11 off Carrasco in his career, and they throw him a breaking ball that he can handle. And he hits it to right field and actually hits it very well. And it gives them their 4th run. I'm sort of baffled there by that.
Yadier Molina, 2 for 3 on the day, is at the plate with 2 on and 2 out. And Brian Shaw fires it in there for a strike. Seventeenth appearance of the year for the right-hander Brian Shaw. Pops him up, out of play. And a foul back on the fastball. Nothing into the count. Shaw ready. Runner goes from first. Adams. He was kind of stumbling and
he had a running
out of the
start.
gate.
He had a running start because he jumped and then he had to stop. And then took off again. They weren't throwing through anyway.
Slowly chopped to third. And Lonnie Chisenhall throws him out to end the inning. But the Cardinals add to their lead. Another 2-out RBI hit. 4-0 St. Louis. 7th inning stretch brought to you by Spitzer Auto World. Indians Live, presented by Conrad's Tire Express, and Total Car Care is coming up next here on Sports Time Ohio with Alan Jensen. We go now to the bottom of the 7th inning. New pitcher for St. Louis is right-hander Matt Belisle. He's 1-0 with a 193 earned run average in 15 appearances this year. He's walked 5, struck out 10. Opposition hitting .278 against him, but he's not given up many runs.
No, 12 of his 15 appearances have been scoreless. So he's on to hold it for Lance Lynn, who went 6 innings, struck out 9, walked 4, and the Indians could only get 4 hits.
Yeah, they had their chances.
They did have a couple of opportunities. They've left 8 stranded.
Ramirez grounded out in the 3rd inning, and then he walked in the 5th. He would eventually reach third base when the Indians loaded the bags with only 1 out. And now he's going to punch one into center field to start the 7th inning.
Well, you get back after 2 walks. Lance Lynn gave up a base hit here to Santana, which loaded the bases. And you figure, all right, man, everything's in good shape here. This is a 3-0 game. He was down in the count 3-0 to Brantley. He comes back to get the strikeout, and he strikes out Brandon Moss to end that inning. So they ended up putting a goose egg in. And I'll tell you, he came back, you know, made some pitches when he really had to.
Now Jason Kipnis, who has doubled and walked. He reached third base in the 3rd inning, but was left there. And he drew one of the walks in the bases loaded situation in the 5th inning. And he looks, it's a called strike. 1-2 the count. That's hit well. Left center field in the gap. That'll go to the wall. Ramirez hits second on his way to third. Sarbaugh's going to wave him home, and he will score the first run of the game for the Tribe. It's a 4-1 Cardinals lead as Jason Kipnis has his second double of the day and his 15th run batted in on the year.
Yeah, good swing, good results. It'll be our McDonald's. I'm loving it because the Indians are finally on the board. He got a fastball out over the plate, and he stayed on it beautifully. And hits it into left center field, gets all the way to the wall. With Ramirez running, he's going to score easily. So for Jason Kipnis, his 15th ribby. Give him 2 more hits again tonight. He's 2 for 3. The Indians are on the board.
And now Carlos Santana, who has 2 hits today. And inside ball 1.
Both those hits, the one by Ramirez, he was down on the count 0-2. Kipnis was down on the count 1-2. And able to come through and get a couple of hits.
And a foul over by the Cardinals dugout.
Choate probably waiting for the on-deck hitter for the Indians. Both Michael Brantley and Moss.
Now the 1-1. Fouled off. Matt Belisle was originally an Atlanta Brave. He was a second-round pick in 1998. 5 years later, he was dealt to Cincinnati for Kent Mercker. Now the 1-2. And he strikes out Santana. 1 away. And here comes Mike Matheny, who will make a move to the left-hander out of the bullpen now. Cardinals lead it 4-1. Indians have a runner aboard with 1 out in the 7th, and we'll be right back. Coming up on Fox Sports Live tonight, one of baseball's top prospects makes his Major League Baseball debut. Pete Rose is in studio to help review tonight's highlights. Plus NBA action, Bulls and the Cavs, Clippers, Rockets. Change your channel to Fox Sports 1 for Fox Sports Live after the game. Left-hander Randy Choate into the ball game now for St. Louis. The 39-year-old has been around. He was originally a 5th-round pick of the New York Yankees in 1997. And since 2009, he leads all lefties in total games pitched, more than 400.
Yeah, well, he's thrown 6 straight scoreless appearances, and he usually brings them in when runners are on base. He has 14 inherited runners. And he's coming on to get a couple of tough lefties out.
Well, the Indians have struck out 7 times tonight with a runner in scoring position. They're 1 for 8. Brantley shoots one down the left field line. Fair ball headed for the corner. Coming around third and scoring is Kipnis. On his way to second base with an RBI double is Michael Brantley. And the Indians, with 2 doubles here in the 7th, have cut the Cardinal lead in half. It's 4-2.
Well, what a beautiful swing off the left-hander. You know, he's coming down, giving you a little side angle, and Brantley just stayed right there. And look at that. That's about as pretty as you can get. Slaps it down the line. So Michael will get his 9th double, get his 17th ribby, and they cut that lead 4-2. That's why, you know, that last inning upset me when that runner was on second. Peralta hit, and that was the 4th run of the game. Makes it such a big run when they can add on with 2 outs like that. But now the Indians got their work cut out.
Ryan Rayburn's going to pinch hit for Brandon Moss, who was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts tonight. Rayburn has been very good this year. As a pinch hitter, 2 for 8 with 4 runs batted in.
Well, it looks like they got another lefty in the pen. We'll see if he wants to make a move. They're waiting, sending their fielders out there to talk to him to stall. And it looks like he's coming. He is. He was on for 1 hitter. Brantley and Moss. So there you go. Well, you should have figured he had 14 appearances and only, what do you have, 4 1/3 innings?
Mike Matheny makes the move. And he's calling on Kevin Segrist, another lefty, when we come back. Michael Brantley's RBI double has cut the Cardinals' lead in half at 4-2. He's at second base, tying run at the plate in the form of Ryan Rayburn. Left-hander Kevin Segrist on now for the Cardinals. Big guy at 6'5", 215 pounds. Give you an idea of how quickly fortunes can change in Major League Baseball. 2 years ago, Segrist posted the lowest ERA by a Cardinals relief pitcher in team history with at least 35 innings pitched. He had an ERA of 0.45 in 45 appearances. Last year, his ERA ballooned to almost 7 as he had spent time on the DL with a left forearm strain. So, boy, and it goes the tricky nature of bullpens one year to the next. What are you going to get? You never know.
Well, he spoiled him for this first year. You get an 0.45. You can't improve upon that, can you? You can only get worse.
There's Ryan Rayburn taking. And a good fastball in for a strike.
For right now, the most appearances out of a bullpen, the St. Louis Cardinals now have with 114. Tampa Bay has 106 and Cleveland 105.
Well, that fastball just jumps at the hitter, doesn't it?
Well, it jumps at you. It's 91 from what it says on the gun.
But the swing by Rayburn looked a little tardy, didn't it?
Yes, it did. Maybe he hides it well. We got to take a look at it.
Segrist, another one of those great finds by the player development system, or they were just lucky. 41st round pick in 08. He was the 1,235th player selected. Now the 1-2. Off speed pitch, a little bit low.
That was a changeup right there. See if he could get him to chase it and swing at something out of the strike zone. That's what happens when you get ahead in the count. You try and get that hitter to swing at your pitch.
Smoked into left field, a base hit. Brantley coming around third. He'll be waved home. Rayburn on his way to second, slides in, safe. It's an RBI double for Ryan Rayburn. 3 RBI doubles in the inning for Cleveland. It's a one-run game at 4-3.
That ball was hammered by Ryan Rayburn. I'm not sure if that was a changeup or what. Let's take a look at it. It might have been. He might have left that changeup upstairs, and look at Rayburn. He took advantage of it. Brantley had to break back because he wasn't sure if Carpenter was going to catch it, but he still had time to score. And then good hustle by Rayburn to get himself into scoring position. He's the tying run now. Still just one out. So the bullpen for the Cardinals, they have
they've given it up so far.
They've given it up and allowed that Indians offense to get on the board and quickly with a big 3 spot right now.
There's Nick Swisher taking ball 1 inside. Swish 0 for 2 with a walk his last time up. Rayburn, the tying run at second base. And a strike call to even it up. The Indians with 3 runs in here in the 7th inning to make it a 1-run game. Segrist misses down low, 2 balls and a strike.
And the amazing thing about the hits for the Indians, they were down in the count. 3 of those hits, they were down. Rayburn was down 0-2. He worked it to get back to 2-2 before he smoked his double.
And there is the tying run. Ryan Rayburn, after Michael Brantley came home with the 3rd run, popped him up. Shallow right. Wong, the second baseman, makes the catch. 2 down. So that'll leave it up to David Murphy, who is 0 for 3 on the night. Low and away, ball 1. Murphy trying to come through in the clutch once again here. Low, 2-0. Well, even though it's a tough lefty-on-lefty matchup here for David Murphy, he's at least got himself an account where he can zero in. Outside, 3-0. I believe this is Murphy's first, I think it's his first plate appearance against a left-hander this year. To first base, gobbled up by Adams, and he tags the bag to end the inning. The Indians come back, though. 3 runs on 4 hits. It's a 1-run game.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
All right, now it's a 1-run game with 2 innings to play. And here in the 8th inning for the Cardinals, the bottom third of the order. As you see Rayburn in right field now for Cleveland. Hayward, Reynolds, Borges due up for St. Louis. Brian Shaw got the last out of the 7th inning. He'll stay on to pitch here in the 8th with activity in the bullpen behind him. Jason Hayward 0 for 3. Hit the ball hard his last time up, but David Murphy made a fine running catch in deep left field. Out of play. You know, you have to ask yourself, Rick, in Jason Hayward, did general manager John Hart see even though he's only 25 years old, did he see a guy on the decline and figured it was time to cash in while he still could? Or was it simply a case where we can't afford to keep him, so let's move him?
I think that's the situation. I thought they felt he was a good player, and they're restructured. The Braves, they're going into a new ballpark. 2 years, and try and get ready, and gets a lot of young talent, and they got a young starting pitcher. I mean, who knows for sure?
Played 149 games last year, won the Gold Glove, but offensively,
got a great arm.
Offensively, the numbers,
Well, you see that where he wears that helmet. He got hit in the face. That piece on the helmet, the add-on there. There you'll see. You get a good look at it.
When was that? A couple years ago, though?
Yeah.
13, yeah.
13, yes.
Just missed. Ooh, close pitch. Brian Shaw wanted it, and now it's a full count.
Now it looks like a little cutter going back on that outside corner, and it's off the plate.
And he walks him. The leadoff man aboard for St. Louis. This was what you were talking about, Rick, a couple of years ago.
Look at that. Ouch. Off the left-hander from the Cubs. Couldn't get out of the way, right in the jaw.
Wound up only playing 104 games that year. Played 158 the year before and 149 last year. But the home runs last year for Hayward dipped to 11, only 58 runs driven in. It'll be interesting to see what the market bears for him.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of year he has here in St. Louis.
I suppose that's going to go a long way to determining what the market will be, won't it? Mark Reynolds, a perfect 3 for 3 on the night. Hayward bluffed a little bit towards second when the ball squibbed loose.
Well, any hesitation you have there, depending on how far that ball gets away, if you're anticipating a ball in the dirt like that and you see it, a lot of times guys that break get in there, but you can't hesitate 1 second.
Hayward looks like he could steal second base in about 4 strides.
Yes, but how quick is he? How quick are those strides?
Well, let's see. He stole 20 last year and 2 years ago, 21 steals.
Yeah, he has 4 already. He hasn't been caught yet, but see, that's a play there that goes a long way, and I think every team wants to work at it when they go to spring training. Is that ball in the dirt? Where you can take extra bases. Because when you're in one-run games, that could mean a lot. And you see, he has to get back. It almost looked like he didn't step over there.
He bluffs the move towards second. Swing and a miss. Throw back to first. Oh, he's called safe. It was very close.
Yeah, Santana couldn't tag him. He couldn't apply the tag. He took off and then stopped. And then by the time he comes back, watch, he can't tag him. He never left the base. He went to get that ball, but he's really got to reach all the way back when that base runner goes to the backside of the base. You see, he can't reach him. He took that ball way in front of the base and never really shuffled off.
The 1-2. Swung out and missed. He strikes him out. As promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And we're going to go back to 1955.
Stan the man. All-Star game. Walk-off home run.
Peter Borges 1 for 3 on the night. And a throw to first. Paying a lot of attention to Hayward now. Right back to Shaw, who juggles it, goes to second for one. No, they don't get it out. Ramirez drops the ball, and the Cardinals have 2 on with 1 out.
Looked like he wanted to turn 2 before you get the first one. Because Shaw drops the ball, bobbles it, I should say. He got it, and then Ramirez, I think, took his eye off of it. May have threw him a cutter too, but still, that's a ball that you got to catch and just get the one. See his eye, he wanted to get it and try and throw and get a double play. But if you know the situation, Borges can run. He's gonna beat it out once the bobble's there.
Timeout with 2 on and 1 out here in the 8th. One more look back at the error at second base. It was charged to Jose Ramirez. The throw is there, and he just didn't look it in.
No, I probably rushed to try and turn the double play. And you have to get it out, and they do not. So now they have runners at first and second with 1 out, and Nick Hagedorn comes on to face
Colton
the top
Wong,
of the lineup.
0 for 4 on the night. Up high, ball 1. Cardinals lead by a run after the Indians put 3 on the board in the bottom of the 7th. But now St. Louis threatening to open it up. Wong with Matt Carpenter on deck, back-to-back left-handed hitters. So Terry Francona decides to go to Nick Hagedorn in a tight spot here. And now the 1-1. Wong took a big rip, but fouls it back.
I'd love to get that ground ball double play to get out of this inning. The Indians just came back into the game, scored 3 in the bottom half of the 7th. They cut it to 1. They've only still, to this point, Matt, played 2 one-run games this year. They're in one now, so every little thing counts.
Strike 3 called. And Wong is out number 2.
A curveball. He didn't see one in the at-bat, and now he throws one for a strike, and I mean a dandy. Gets the strikeout. A big pitch there by Hagedorn. Well done. Good curveball. Finds the zone, and it locked him up.
And Matt Carpenter takes a strike over the outside corner. Doubled and scored in the 7th. You know, Rick, you're talking about the Indians in close games. St. Louis is involved in an interesting streak right now.
On the road?
Every road game they've played has been decided by 3 runs or less. So 14 in a row. It's one of the longest streaks ever to start a season.
On the road.
Yeah, on the road.
Yeah, this is their 15th game on the road.
The only longer streaks to start a season on the road with games decided by 3 runs or less. The 1971 California Angels, who went 16 straight. The 1968 Pittsburgh Pirates, who went 17 straight. And the 1924 Pirates, who went 18 in a row. On the road, games decided by 3 runs or less. Cardinals are involved in another one here. Nick Hagedorn trying to get out of a jam with 2 on, 2 out, and a 1-1 pitch to Matt Carpenter. Eventually, now time is called. This is where the Cardinals have done their damage here tonight. It was a 2-out, 2-run single in the 1st. It was a 2-out, 2-run single in the 5th, and a 2-out, 2-run double in the 7th inning.
Comes in with a good fastball, and he takes it down, I guess.
Boy.
It's a good pitch.
Yeah.
It's a really good pitch.
When you tell pitchers keep the ball down, then he throws one down, it's perfect at the knees, and you don't get the call.
For the most part, yeah. Hagedorn throws a lot of pitches up in the strike zone. That one was down. I thought it was a good pitch.
Base hit right field. Hayward steaming around third. He will score. On his way to third base is Borges. The throw is cut off. And another 2-out RBI hit for the Cardinals, and the beat goes on as Carpenter delivers to make it 5-3 St. Louis. And boy, is the error costly for the Tribe here in the 8th.
Well, the leadoff walk, the error, and now you get a 2-out base hit. So, yes, everything is costly when you get into a 1-run game. Now they make it a 2-run game, and Hagedorn is done.
Timeout for another pitching change. 5-3 St. Louis here in the 8th. Well, the Indians trying to make a game of it, scored 3 in the bottom of the 7th, but here in the 8th, leadoff walk started the trouble. And then with one out, Shaw thinking he has a double play maybe, and they don't get anybody out.
Yeah, you got to at least get one there. That would have been out number 2. That would have been out number 3. But with the error, the inning continues, and you get a base hit. So you give a good team an extra out, and they will take advantage of it, as the Cardinals do right there, and they push it to a 5-3 game.
Now Scott Atchison, third pitcher of the inning. To right field. Back goes Rayburn. He's going to watch it leave the yard. Matt Holliday with a crushing 3-run capper to a 4-run 8th for the Cardinals. And they now lead it 8-3.
Well, you see the breaking ball there. He stays back, and boy, it looks like when he gets runners in scoring position or opportunities, he tries to shoot the ball that way, and he's got enough pop that he can get it out that way. Holliday hits his 3rd home run. He has 21 ribbies now. He has 4 on the night.
To third, and Chisenhall throws him out. The Indians down 5 now as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Cardinals exploding here in the 8th inning. Bottom of the 8th inning. Lonnie Chisenhall takes ball 1 up high. Chisenhall 0 for 3 on the night. And Kevin Segras delivers a strike. Segras came on and gave up the RBI double to Ryan Rayburn that made it a 1-run game. Then got Swisher and Murphy to end the inning. And now he comes back out. And working with a 5-run advantage. 1-2 the count on Lonnie Chisenhall. Strikes him out. One away here in the 8th. The Indians in-game box score. Jason Kipnis, 2 hits. Santana with a couple. Michael Brantley extending his hitting streak to 11 games tonight. Ryan Rayburn coming off the bench with a pinch hit RBI double, but other than that, not much doing. And most of the Indians' offense tonight, well, at least in the scoring column, came into 1 inning. They had opportunities early, but couldn't break through. And now the Cardinals up 5 with the Indians running out of time. Eight-3 St. Louis. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning with 1 out. St. Louis goes to the bullpen for Miguel Sokolovich, who is pitching for his 6th different organization, and yet this is only his 17th major league appearance in a ballgame. The first 12 came in 2012, 6 with Baltimore, 6 with the Chicago Cubs. He's also pitched in the Red Sox organization, the White Sox, Mets, but none of those clubs did he get to the big leagues with. He also pitched in Japan. He had Tommy John surgery the 2nd year of his professional career. So to say he has persevered would be an understatement. And now, after all that, here he is finding himself pitching for one of the best teams in baseball.
How about that?
He's a native of Venezuela, and he'll turn 29 in July. But he's missed badly with his first 2 pitches to Roberto Perez here in the 8th inning. Three and 0. The 3-0 pitch And a strike is called. Right back at him, knocked it down, or it hit him and fell to the turf. I'm not sure which.
It sure did. It hit him and went straight down. It looked like it got him in the thigh.
Sokolovic's like, hey, this is my 17th game in the big leagues. I'm not coming out because the ball hit me in the leg.
Right, you watch. It goes straight down. I think it gets him in the thigh here as he's turning. Perfect. Right there, goes straight down. You know, you remember we talked about it before. The ball hit Carrasco in the foot off the heel. Deflected maybe 20 feet away for an infield single. That one, that's what you wanted it to do. Hit you and stay there.
So with 2 down, Jose Ramirez to the plate. Royals trail the Rangers 2-1. They're in the 4th inning down in Arlington. 1-1 pitch and an off-speed delivery. Drops in for a strike. White Sox lead the Brewers 2-1. They're in the 7th. Now the 1-2 to Ramirez. Up the first baseline, and it stays foul. Boy, that thing was.
It looked like
hit a
it
couple
wanted
of divots,
to come back.
didn't it?
You know, he was in trouble because he was almost like blocking the runner right there. He wouldn't have been able to touch it if it comes rolling back. See, watch, he gets tangled up there with Ramirez. He's got the right to the baseline. Now, you got to jump on that ball and touch it before it comes back.
Tigers Twins 1-1. They're in the 8th in Detroit. Here it's 8-3 St. Louis with 2 down, the base is empty. And a 1-2 count for Ramirez. Strikes him out. Drive goes in order. We go to the 9th. 8-3 Cardinals.
O'Brien play of the game, and you just go back to last inning, and they put it out of reach here. But Matt Holliday coming up. It's a slider, and it's a 3-run home run. He hit his 3rd of the year. That just insult to injury. Look at Atchison. He can't believe it. It was a breaking ball, and the big man capped off a big 4-run inning for the St. Louis Cardinals. That is our Pat O'Brien play of the game.
Ryan Webb coming on to pitch for the Tribe. 6th appearance. Sixth pitcher of the night for Cleveland. And a foul by Adams. Adams had an infield hit his last time up, 1 for 4 on the night. Big bouncer. Kipnis from the outfield grass throws out Adams, 1 away. Stay tuned for Indians Live, presented by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Coming up next with Alan Jensen right here on Sports Time Ohio. Going to get a pinch hitter now for Yadier Molina. Tony Cruz. Following the first pitch out of play.
Ouch.
Smash the bat. And Jose Ramirez will throw him out, 2 down. That's like being in witness protection, isn't it? Being Yadier Molina's backup.
It's a nice gig, isn't it?
There's Jason Hayward, 0 for 3, walked and scored his last time up. And a strike called. Hayward got the leadoff walk in the 8th inning. That was truly the Indians' undoing tonight.
Yeah, that went from a 1-run game after they scored 3 in the 7th to now a blowout, a 5-run game because of a walk and an error.
And a strike 3 called ends the inning. We'll go to the last of the 9th. 8-3 Cardinals. Yeah, a little chilly here at the ballpark tonight. But the Indians are down to their last 3 outs. Recapping the keys to the game. Too much Cardinals. Too much clutch hitting. Not enough of it for the Indians.
Yeah, the Cardinals did a lot with 2 outs. All the damage with 2 outs. Cruz stays in the ball game behind the plate.
Jason Kipnis, 2 doubles on the night. Trying to plug the gap one more time. He will, but he'll hold him to a single here in the 9th. So he's got a 3-hit ball game.
Stays hot.
Does he ever?
I'll tell you what, he's in a very good groove right now. He's seeing the ball well. Wherever it's pitched, he's doing his thing. His 3rd hit, he walked once, so he's been on base 4 of the 5 times. The Indians now with 9 hits. Kipnis with 3 of them.
Yeah, Jason has 10 hits in his last 18 at-bats, going back to the Twins series. Carlos Santana, 2 for 4, 2 singles, and he has struck out twice. Yeah, and a big swing and a miss by Santana. Miguel Sokolovich delivers. And Santana pulls it foul. Look out. Santana will be followed by Michael Brantley here in the 9th. Indians down 5. Nobody out, 0-2 count. And Santana strikes out for the 3rd time tonight, 1 away. Second strikeout for Sokolovich. And it will bring up Michael Brantley, who is 2 for 3, a single, a double, an RBI, and a run scored. He's also walked once.
Looks like a changeup he throws there.
Well, he's definitely got some crazy speed variances. I saw one low 70s, 74, I think, at one point. That one's popped to left. Holiday makes the grab, 2 down. It's not quite the eephus pitch that Alfredo Simon.
Yeah. What is his? It's in the 60s,
yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah.
At times he can throw it up there.
This is below the speed limit. Now here's Ryan Rayburn. Came off the bench with an RBI double in the 7th. That got the Indians to within a run at that point. And that one nailed Tim Welke, the home plate umpire. He says he's all right. Ooh. Looked like he got part of the mask and part of the shoulder pad. He's pointing to the mask where it hit. So he's trying to tell everybody he's okay, but they all want to check and make sure. Plus, it's like the old saying goes, on a night where it's a little chilly and cool, everything stings a little bit more.
Yeah. I think he's saying it caught him on that little wing on the mask, that hangs off the side instead of maybe flush directly into the face mask.
And then it deflected off those shoulder pads, so it probably sounded maybe worse than it was. Certainly hope that's the case. Here's the 0-1 pitch now coming to Rayburn with 2 down in the 9th. And that one nailed
the
catcher that time.
Right, Ryan's taking his turn. He has both of them behind the dish.
Tony Cruz just came on for Yadier Molina, so he's getting a little more than he bargained for. 0-2. A little bit low, and down to second goes Kipnis.
Come on, Arch. Come on now. Come on, Arch.
8 runs, 13 hits, 8 left for St. Louis. 3 runs, 9 hits, 9 left for Cleveland. 2 errors for the Indians. Close, but Sokolovich didn't get the call, and Rayburn stays to see yet another. Pulls it foul. And again, now the 2-2. Up high, full count. Ryan Rayburn at the dish with Jason Kipnis at second base. And Miguel Sokolovich, his 24th pitch since he came into the game. Swing and a miss. Rayburn strikes out. This game is over. And the Indians' quest for back-to-back victories and a series opening win continues. They've accomplished each of those feats just once all season long. And here it is, 31 games into the season.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. They got back into this ball game and let it get away from them after that 7th inning.
But the Cardinals blow it open with the 4-run 8th, and they hold on for the 8-3 victory to take the series opener. And now the Indians will have to do something that they've only done once this year, and that's win back-to-back games if they want to keep their streak against the Cardinals alive, which they've never lost a series to.
You're right. Well, they've got their work cut out for them, and it's Corey Kluber tomorrow who's going to be looking at his very first win this year.
That's it tonight from Progressive Field. The final score, St. Louis 8, Cleveland 3. Stay tuned for Indians Live, presented by Conrad's, coming up next.